David Menzies for Rebel News here in Detroit, and I gotta tell you folks, just call me Canadian badass. You see, I'm on a mission to bring illegal substance across the border. Oh no, I'm not talking about cocaine or fentanyl or anything like that. I'm talking about a bottle of Kentucky bourbon and a package of Zin. Now, as you can see, this is the bourbon of choice when I come to the US, Booker's. It's expensive, it's $120 US, but you can't get this at the LCBO because of Doug Ford's photo op of removing all American booze from the LCBO. In fact, you can't get even the cheapest bourbon because anything from Kentucky, anything from California, that is product non grata. So I'm going to do the honest thing. I'm going to declare this at the border. Wonder what the penalty will be in terms of taxation, tariff, customs, however you want to call it. Now, here's the other thing. This is Zin. Yes, it contains nicotine, but certainly not as much nicotine as what's allowed for sale in Canada. And by the way, there's been recent studies showing that Zin, the consumption of which helps those with Parkinson's disease, but Health Canada does not approve this. So what does that mean? Is it more than paying a customs fee? Is it actually getting this confiscated? Even though Tobacco Classic is sold in Canada. We're going to see when we cross the border about an hour from now. And I got to tell you, what a great experience here at Foxtown Market. That's where I bought my illegal contraband. Very friendly service, great selection. And again, doesn't it speak volumes, folks? Why do we even have government-run liquor boards in Canada? Government does have a role to play. That is taxation and regulation. Certainly not warehousing the stuff. Certainly not retailing the stuff. And you know what? You're not going to go in there and walk out of here with a shopping cart filled with thousands of dollars of booze. Why? Because the good stuff is behind the counter. But that's the way the LCBO used to sell their product, by the way. So you're going to have to pay before your booze, before you even get to touch it. And if you've got trouble on your mind in terms of going into the coolers to get some beer, well, I think you might be introduced to their security tandem, you know, Smith and Wesson. Yeah, so you're not having 77 million at Detroit liquor stores going out the door every year. And one last point before we go back over to Canada, folks. Isn't it funny in this tariff tiff that this liquor store has Canadian beer, it has Canadian spirits, so there's no quid pro quo in response to Premier Ford's outrageous $1 billion photo op of taking U.S. spirits, wine, and beer off the shelves of the Liquor Control Board. No, it is truly embracing the free market economy, something, alas, we don't have in Ontario, in so many provinces in Canada. And let's be honest, the only reason I have to sneak, in normal terms, a bottle of bourbon over is because Doug Ford has made it impossible, thanks to his government monopoly, to buy bourbon in Ontario. In any event, we're going to do a little more shopping, and then across the border we go. Well, folks, we just emerged from the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, and we told the truth that we had a bottle of bourbon and a package of Zin. Oh, did we pay a price? Let's start with the Zin. As you can see, this is me consenting to voluntary confiscation of the Zin. The other option was to go back to the United States and use it there or give it away there. But given that it's a $6.99 item, well, you would pay more in the toll to do that. So I had no choice but to give it away. And by the way, they told me they're going to destroy it. And the reason is that Zin is 6 milligrams of nicotine. The limit is 4 milligrams of nicotine. Now, you can get higher nicotine in Canada, but by prescription. So you see, it's the federal government hand in hand with Big Pharma. Big Pharma wants its cut. It doesn't want you getting the high nicotine product from the convenience store or the liquor store. So there you have it. Here is what the tax man wanted for declaring the bourbon. We'll start with $6.57 in duty. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, but wait. Then we have the GST, HST component. That's $22.45. And, oh, will you hear this one? The provincial liquor markup fee, $103.45. So the grand total, $132.47. So let's pretend we're in a chronology where the US and Canadian dollar are on par. I paid more in provincial markups, GST, HST, and duty than what I paid for the actual bottle, $132.47 versus $120. So I guess at the end of the day, I want to meet the jokers who coined the phrases, honesty is the best policy, and crime doesn't pay. And as for you, Premier Ford, you forced me into this position. You won't allow me to buy a bottle of bourbon at your Crown Liquor monopoly. You know what? To quote Mike Elbows Up Myers,
"You really are a fat bastard."
For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. You know what, folks? Why do we have provincial governments in the booze business to begin with? That's not their bailiwick. Yeah, regulate it, tax it, but don't warehouse it, don't retail it. If you think like I do, can you go to our website, sellthelcbo.com. That's sellthelcbo.com. Sign the petition, and if you can, kindly kick in a couple of bucks so that Rebel News can bring you the other side of the story.